Everybody good? All right, welcome everyone, thanks for attending tonight. We're gonna call the meeting to order here at 7 o'clock. We are missing Ruth tonight, unfortunately she wasn't able to attend, so just the four of us. Let's see, who do we got in the audience here? I only see one ex-Boy Scout except for Mr. Ball. How'd you like to lead the pledge, former Boy Scout Ball? Join me. Please rise to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good job, Jeff.
Appreciate it, John.
You should have asked me to sing it. Let's not stretch.
We need to keep the residents in the room. All right. Okay, so with that out of the way, we have a town clerk report. If our board members have had an opportunity to review that. And if everybody has any questions, and has a chance. Otherwise, I'll be looking for someone to give me a motion to approve that and second, please.
Just give them a quick scan here.
No problem.
I'll make a motion on the clerk's report.
All right. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kevin. All in favor? Aye. All right. On to the next. We've got the minutes from July 8th and the 22nd. The 8th was our town board meeting, the 22nd was our public hearing. If everybody's had an opportunity to review those, I'm looking for another motion and a second to approve those, please.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Second.
Thank you, Pete. All right, if there's no further comments or questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right, moving along. Supervisor's report, you have the standard fair one in front of you, just for the sake of discussion. Last night I sat down and remedied the dreaded abstract 13, which were the expenses that were carried over from last year's budget that never got entered into this year's budget. Wanted to see if that made a difference on the supervisor's report, so I ran one before and after, and they seem to be identical. However, as we enter our budget season, you will see cleaner numbers on the end of 2025 and then our 2026 budget, since those expenditures that weren't put into the budget in January, that was my oversight, I wasn't aware that was necessary. Those are no longer looming, so our budget line should be leveled off in proper form, representing just the expenditures that we've incurred to date for 2026. In addition to my supervisor's report, I just made like usual, a list of the things that I've been doing around town. I attended our July 21st zoning board meeting, and I took the notes for the meeting, just because I was happy to do so. August 10th, I had a nice opportunity to visit with some residents in Iona, talk about what's going on, what I do, and some thoughts for the future in regards to getting our comprehensive plan in line. 5 or 6 residents came out and we just enjoyed a cup of coffee and talked. Just the other day, Jeff, myself, and Brenda had a conference call with Williamson Law, who is our software supplier for our budget and our system to keep track of our expenditures, and we all kind of got up to speed on the budget, how to put those items in from abstract 13, how to make adjustments to the column, and then she guided us in setting up a tentative budget. So in front of you, you'll find a tentative budget, which is basically just a worksheet. There isn't anything in the proposed budget for 2027 yet. You'll see the right-hand column is all zeros, and that'll give us, something to write on. So along with the detailed expenditures, which is another packet you have in front of you on the table, we have this tentative budget, and we can use those two to kind of get an understanding of what we have spent our money on, what type of increases we've seen over the course of time from 25 to 26. And maybe we can use that as kind of a better guide for us to aim our numbers in that right-hand column as we try to propose what we may be spending for 2027. So it's just kind of the foundation for us to build on. And then lastly, there's two more items, I'm sorry. I did send a request for a proposal to Paychecks and to complete payroll. I believe Brenda's been in contact with Benecare, another payroll service. We're trying to explore if there's better options out there, maybe a little more comprehensive coverage for us, because we have some shortcomings when it comes to things like human resource and sorting out some training for our employees. That might be an aid to us so we can be more on track with that. Right now, sometimes we scramble because there's some training that doesn't get taken care of, and there may be some deadlines involved. And then, once we get 3 quotes, we can talk about those here in the next town board meeting and see if it's within our best interest to consider a new service or stick with our current bookkeeper that does it, or where we'd like to see on that. There might be a cost advantage and a benefit to increased aspects of their service. And lastly, on August 17th, our 2 fire companies are having a pump training at County Park. Ruth and I are gonna attend, but it's a public thing. If you guys wanna come and see what it's all about, you probably are gonna be there. I thought it was nice to get an opportunity to see what they do and how they train, and they were nice enough to ask us to come and see what it was all about. So throw that on your calendar. Other than that, that's pretty much what I've been doing. It's been a light month for a change, yes.
What time is it on August 17th?
7 PM, thank you.
7 PM, thank you.
Alright, so that's all I got. I can answer questions if there are any, otherwise, basically, the supervisor report just kind of shows you how much money we got, where it is, what it's doing. We do have some money working for us, generating some income. Our expenditures as it relates to date, those monies we've directed to the agencies, our local fire departments, and so on. So if there's any questions, let me know. Last month you asked me I think Ruth asked if we had a number on how much we've earned on our CDs. I do not have that at this moment. I will get that for you, I'll work on that.
When you do it, can you also just tell us when they come for renewal, what their
Absolutely.
interest rate's at, just so
Sure.
we know?
Yep, be glad to do that. All right, if there's no further discussion, who can give me a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right, so the supervisor's report has been approved. Budget review, I kinda talked a little bit about that already. That's what this, sideways printed report is, that's what our, year-to-date spending is. If we look at the tentative budget that I also provided you, you can see this column, third from the left is our adopted budget for this year, and that speculates where we should have been. As these numbers grow and change, we really should be watching it a little more closely and modifying this budget when we know we're looking at some overages or some expenditures that we're not prepared for, like the damage we had with the roads and the culverts. That gives us a little better understanding of what our uncommitted fund balance is, which is that checkbook balance I refer to from time to time. Right now, we do have a considerable amount of uncommitted fund balance. The reason for that is a couple of reasons. We don't count on certain income streams like the sales tax revenue. And there's other smaller income streams that we get that fluctuate, like the sale of water. And there's, the permit fees and so on that come through, and then, the justice, income from, our increased, patrols lately, generating more, people in the courtroom. So, that all helps considerably and keeps that fund balance positive. And I guess that's something I would just say in regards to the budget review, we're not gonna, vote on that, but that's where we're currently at is, we've gotta have a tentative budget in line and ready for, September. And then we'd like to have that ready for the process that's gonna include the public, so they can review the budget if necessary, come to a public hearing about the budget and so on. Cause we'll have to have that ready, for reports for above and then before the end of the year. So if there's any thoughts, comments, suggestions on that, bring them forth or send them to me. Or the thought here is take this tentative budget home with you and look at the two documents, and then, let's bring our sharp pencils and our keen wisdom to light for our next meeting, and we can start to put some of these numbers in the right-hand column on our tentative budget. There's certainly some areas we were over, and I think there were some areas that were, likely underfunded. But I've been told the budget is a guess, right? And, we try to take a more careful look as it unfolds during the year, and then we try to apply some, a better foresight to next year's. And unfortunately, some of these increases we've seen, health insurance is one of them, has just been exorbitant. And, we could budget as much as we anticipate we should, and I think we could still fall short with that circumstance, so, for what it's worth. So if we're good there, we'll move on to the justice report. So there's a justice report in your packet. And as mentioned, I think, we've seen some more, tickets come through the courtroom. I know our Justice Weitzel was commenting that, he had 13 additional people on his docket last week because of the clamping down on the speed zone in town, so I think that's been a tremendous benefit. Hopefully our residents have seen some relief, maybe a little better, a little bit, yeah, well.
Takes time.
It does take time. I've also reached, I've sent additional emails out to Troop E Barracks, and I've, sent an additional request to David, Cirancione from Ontario County, to expand, right? We would like to see some coverage on, 65 north of the intersection, 37 south of the intersection. And, Burke Holmes reported that they have a tremendous amount of speeding going on down there. So they offered their parking lot for a place to sit if the police would like a place to be, so, hopefully we'll see some more, presence of our officers, and, we'll try to get this, Spencer Speedway returned to West Bloomfield, right? Do we have any questions on the justice report? If no, a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Tag, you're it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Christine and Pete on that, respectively. Okay, that's, keep covering up my agenda. Vouchers. All right, so, looking for a motion to approve paying the vouchers. We talk about that every month. I think the general public should understand what vouchers are by now. It's basically just their bills.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Second, okay. And for the benefit of the community, we review these vouchers before the meeting. Each voucher needs to be signed by two parties. And then when that's all done, I sign the vouchers, Jeff signs vouchers. And then at the end of the evening, I go into the office and I print all the checks and put them with all the vouchers, and then Brenda processes them and pays all of our bills. So that's something that happens every month. So if there's no further approval, we're all in unison to approve the vouchers? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, Parks and Recreation. We did get, I've seen 3 estimates come through, thanks to Jeff reaching out to 3 different agencies. He and I talked about this to make sure we didn't overlook, agencies that may be under contract in the county. It looks like we've got a really good price from
Yeah.
one of them. And, at this point, I think we're gonna authorize you to go ahead
Okay,
and sign a deal with that
sure.
tree company to get the trees taken care of on the
So,
entryway.
can I have that in the minutes, that we're approving, Terry Tree Service?
Yep.
They're substantially lower than the Ontario County bid
Yeah,
I noticed that.
winner.
which is wonderful,
Yeah, for us.
right? And, they're a reputable service. All right, so, officially, we're looking for a motion to authorize our highway superintendent to enter an agreement with Terry Tree to, take care of the trees, at the entryway pathway from Powdy Park from 5 to 20. So if we could get a motion and a second.
Motion made.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Pete. And any further discussion or questions? No? All in favor? There you go, green light, my friend.
So Holdsworth's are happy with that? You like that?
Yay, the tree, where you going?
We'll rest easier when the wind blows.
We'll ask for their happiness after the mess is cleaned up and their yard is clear and nothing hit the house, right? Terrific. Highway report from our highway superintendent?
Okay, we assisted Ontario County with milling, paving, county roads, also did some oil and stone with them. We did quite a bit with them, and they help us quite a bit as well. I got monies from CHIPS, New York Snow and Ice, and, that was very welcome, because, that's a big part of our budget. Amon and House Roads had, we did the cold mix on those, and I reported that last time, but now we've got the oil and stone completed on those as well. And we were assisted by East Bloomfield, Canadice, and Ontario County on that project. We had 2 driveway pipes installed, one on Sand Road and one on Quaker Meeting House Road. Our entire fleet was undercoated by Crown, and, we do that every year with Crown because they have a mobile unit that can come out. We just line everything up at the shop and they come out and do it right there. The Crown, and this isn't the Crown, this is, I know the Crown is a brand name, but this is the one out of Flint. And on Baker Road, we're rebuilding the ditch with heavy stone currently. We just started that yesterday. It's going very well. You might have seen in the vouchers that I had purchased some parts for the water salesman. I'm rebuilding the water salesman, and then the components that come out of that will be sent back to the supplier for repairs, rebuild, and then they'll send it back to us, and we'll have backup parts. And I was just talking to Birgit about the water sales. She said she didn't know we sold water here in town, and
That's embarrassing, but I didn't know.
oh, that's okay. I mean, most people don't.
That's I would say that's a good thing, you haven't had to come and buy it and fill
Well,
your
no, I
well.
hired the guy out of Honeywell for water,
Oh,
you know what I mean, like, I didn't know.
But it's very popular, and people come through there all day long. And our watering runs about a penny a gallon. And, but when it breaks down, then people get upset because I have to ship the parts back to Kansas, have them repaired, and then, so now we're gonna have 2 sets. And, otherwise, I've been tagging a lot of deer this week. Maybe you've noticed some in town. I don't know what's going on with the deer, but just running the roads, so. That completes my report.
Did you see the email that came from the family on Quaker Meeting House Road applauding you and your staff?
I didn't see that, no.
For the great job.
Oh, good.
An email came in on the website,
Oh,
and I picked it up on my PC when I was in the office and read it. And the people were extremely happy. I will find a way to forward that to you.
Okay. Sure, my guys would love to see that.
They were very happy, they were very appreciative. They made a comment that in 10 years, they've dealt with problems with this, and you came and solved it. And
Good.
they wanted to make sure that someone was aware that they were very, very happy with us taking care of that.
It's nice to get-
Us, the town,
it's
you
nice to get
specifically,
feedback.
your department
Yeah.
taking care of that. No, I wanted to make sure you knew that it came through, and I apologize I didn't forward it to you, but I will do that, so you have a copy. Terrific. All right, motion to accept the highway report.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I've got public comment time down next. So, here we go. Public comment time, if you would, come on up, state your name, your address. Please stand at the lectern, and, here we are. We're listening and happy to do so. So, public comment time is open. Come on, not even an egg or a tomato. Well, it's just gonna, oh, thank you, Steve, thank God. This is gonna go down in the books.
Might as well.
A quiet public, watch your stuff on the board there.
No, really, lawsuit. Am I supposed to sign this? All right, sign over there.
If you sign it over there.
Thank you for taking the trees down, saving my house one of these days, probably. I appreciate the speed, going after, talking to the troopers and such as that. I did have a couple other things, and not to complain, but I have noticed that, one of the things I've noticed is, if you drive along these towns on 5 and 20, and most of them around here actually, they all have, I know they didn't want to change the speed limits or whatever, I know that was approached. But I noticed most of these towns around here have these caution speed signs up before they come into town. I don't know whether that gives the officers legal rights prior to the town and the other speed limit signs, or it gives them some legal finagling or what they can do. But I wondered if the state could put up those, all the other, I mean, Caledonia, Avon, Lima, Bloomfield, they all have the yellow caution when they come into town, so maybe that would help just a little bit too.
I would be more than happy to make the ask for us, no problem.
That'd be good. And, maybe the revenue thing with the, I'd like to hear more about the, or potential for the justice system or the courts to be back in West Bloomfield. Maybe that's when all the speeding started, was when West Bloomfield lost its courts, or moved its courts. I don't know. Just saying.
I'm not sure how that works.
Well, that's okay.
We get the
That's-
same revenue whether they have the case there or here.
Yeah, I just,
But, no, I'm with you, if we can increase revenue for a purpose
yeah, for
that
our
solves an
benefit.
issue, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
I don't know if you have any contact, maybe if you have contact with some of the trucking companies that regularly use our highway here. I won't mention any names, but they might get gravel pits. Anyway. Some of those, just some of them might be a reminder that they are driving through a town, so.
You got it.
I think that's all I got for right this minute.
All right, no problem.
All right?
I'll
Thank you.
I'll be happy to
Appreciate it.
follow up on both of those, and
Yep.
I'll give you a report next.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So there has been activity with the pullovers, I'm taking it.
Oh, yeah, I counted
I know I
seven.
talked to you the one day there.
I counted 7 in one day, and then, I have a direct line to the Ontario County Sheriff, David, and I will read you his response. The other day, I sent him a picture of flashing lights behind a pulled over vehicle, and, I sent a text and a photo of 5 and 20 with this. It was actually a state trooper's car pulling over a vehicle. And I said, between our sheriffs in New York State, it's been a busy day in West Bloomfield. Thank you, David. His response was, "You're welcome. Our crew got several today." So he was thrilled that the efforts were beneficial both ways, for our community and for his crew. I don't know their policy on where their road officers are assigned. He's just a very kind-hearted fellow, and he's very accommodating. And hopefully we can culminate a nice relationship where we're not bugging him, but we're
Right.
asking him to do what he's doing for
We
us.
try not to bug people.
No, I think that's great. So, like you, I'm pleased with the results. Very good.
Perfect. And I also wondered quickly, there was a motorcycle accident in front of 7-Eleven down there, about a week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I just wondered if anybody knew whether that was speed related.
Preliminary report was from a vehicle pulling out of the store into his path, and the speed was not a factor.
No.
I haven't heard anything official.
If it was a motorcycle, right? They don't go by my house fast, though, they're okay.
Yeah.
The bikers are all good.
Yeah,
All right, thanks, y'all.
thank you.
Anyone else?
Can I just ask, it's just a question, you thought last month that you would have an update on the solar, status and information this month?
Yes, the comments, actually, when I read the minutes, the comments were that the solar, law information had been forwarded to Mr. Howe, our town attorney. I don't believe I've seen anything back from Mr. Howe on that.
We did get it back, but we just haven't had a chance to review
Okay,
it.
all right.
But
So
we're close.
good, so there's a little update, so it looks like it's back in our town board members' hands. And then, maybe we can we'll commit to a.
Yeah, we have to see what was changed and make sure that it's something that doesn't have to go back and forth again and again.
Sure,
I'm hoping.
right. And then it'll be part of our agenda,
Yeah.
and we will be motioning to put it through and assign it as a law, so, we probably will have a better answer for you next month. All right. And I'll make a note of that, so we follow up. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? All right. If there's nobody else jumping up, we're gonna close the public comment time. All right, so item 11 on our town board topics. We've got, I'm gonna just read them off quick, and maybe we can move the cemetery up front. Fire department recognition, training policy, procedure update, rural cemetery letter submitted, request for funds. And that's, I guess, where we need to motion. We got a letter from, the Weegards from the West Bloomfield Rural Cemetery, asking if we could provide them the funds we spoke about at a prior town board meeting where we explained that we were gonna treat each of our cemeteries here in our community the same. So if, we've already talked about that, I believe we've already felt that that's within our ability to do so. So unless there's a change or any comments about that, I would ask someone to provide me a motion and then a second, and we can authorize our clerk to add that to next month's vouchers and get the $2,000, I believe is the number we committed, to the rural cemetery. My understanding is we've already taken care of that with the North Bloomfield and with the Miller Corners. So, anyone willing to give me a?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you,
Second.
thank you, Kevin. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so there's one off. So fire department recognition and then training policy.
I can do that really
I'll
quick.
send that on to you, thank you.
So for the fire department, we've kind of been going back and forth about how to make sure we're recognizing our firefighters as they get certified, and I reached out to Carter and John, and we talked about doing a recognition of new certifications maybe once a year. So that would be one board meeting rather than trying to do things as they come in and then they're here every meeting and it will just get kind of lost. So, there's been back and forth talk, but possibly February would be a good meeting because there are some fire department topics on in February, so that might be a good time to do it, and then catch everybody from the previous year.
All right.
So that one's a
Christie?
simple, yep.
On that, recognition would probably be a lot better in October for Fire Prevention Week.
Okay.
All right, that's a good idea.
No problem. And then also I had brought up that, because there was some discussion when this came up that we don't wanna forget that all of our volunteers have been doing such a great job for so long. And so, possibly doing a community potluck where the community can kind of come and do their part to bring their baked beans and their potato salad, and we'll honor our firefighters, and maybe the guys would bring a truck over, possibly outside if we can, and then maybe back up in here if we have to in the rain. I was thinking October, just because it won't theoretically be bad out yet. I'd like to make a resolution on the weather, but,
We're gonna hold you to that.
yeah, I know, yeah.
I think that's a sensational idea.
And I think it'd be a time that I could get it into the community focus, to get the word out and start to get people, you know, that would be willing to bring things and get some things going.
Like we've said in our comments, we aren't looking for a recognition dinner. The recognition we get is helping people in the community.
Appreciate it.
I want big things.
You haven't seen the dessert list yet. So that's that.
I like that approach from the thought that it would bring some more notoriety to, and maybe some awareness
Yeah.
to. And I know in years past, the turnout for the open house and Recruit New York is very, very low. So if there's some way we can stimulate some more interest, I think that would at least be a place to start.
And I think it's a good thing to ask the community, they sacrifice so much for us, we can bring a dish to share. You know, we can bring back things, I think that it's a good way to kind of give back to them a little bit.
Well, I think, I don't think it would be a bad idea if
Yeah.
the town could foot the bill for the
Oh, well, you know,
protein,
we'll
right?
see. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
whatever, we'll be grilling and cooking and so on.
Make it fun.
Alright. Well, let's keep that on our organizational to-do list, thank you. Any more information in regards to our town board topics?
Training. I just put together a list of the things we talked about last time for our planning board and ZBA members and the required hours, which they all know. And that, last time we talked about if the training was over 100, just kind of sending something over to Brenda, just so we don't accidentally go over budget. And I put together, Brigitte helped and, Ruth Kahn helped put together a list of training. And we were talking about last week getting it, just circulating it to them so they know what's available. There's some really good ones on there too.
Super.
So if you have a copy of that and then
Yep.
we can get it over to them. Just makes it easier to find it all. Also, just so you know, MRB offered, I don't know that this is a this year thing, they can do a customized training and come and train the board all together. It is a little pricey, but it's something down the road we may wanna think about with, you know, some pretty new boards. It is 1,000 to 3,000, but it gets them all at one time. It's just something to consider, they could tailor it to what we need instead of going to one where somebody already knows something about this topic and somebody, you know, just something that's out there to consider.
So, let's,
I just put it on the list, I wouldn't like say that's what we need to do, I just want you to be aware that's a service that they will do.
well, why don't we send them a request for a proposal and they can give us an idea of cost and time?
Yeah.
And then we can.
And it even could be in
consider that.
next year, so it's on next year's budget
Well,
too, so.
that's where I'm headed, is we could
Yeah.
add it to a column on the budget, or
Okay.
see if there's.
Do you want me to follow up since they told me about it?
By all means.
Okay, I will do that.
That would be terrific, yeah, thank you.
Is that more of like a comprehensive, like, all-in-one kind of training, or?
They'll tailor it to what we need.
Whatever.
Like, so we may say, oh, we have these gaps and we can talk to our boards, and they may say, we have these gaps that we really wanna talk about, where they might not get it in a training that's a one-size-fits-all.
Mhm.
And they can specifically drill in on certain things.
And why don't we consider doing that closer to the end of the 6-month window we've specified on the moratorium? Because a number of us board members are and will continue to be working with, especially the planning board and the zoning board. And maybe some of that will surface during that process that might give
That's
us
true,
an
yeah.
understanding where those shortcomings are or
Yep.
gaps are. So, okay, I'm good with that. Anything else?
Oh, if anyone noticed, we have a new logo.
I see that.
So,
Do you wanna-
thanks to everyone who voted.
Does Brenda wanna throw some numbers out there? We talked about some numbers and,
I can get into it. So the total number of votes for logo number 1, which is the one that is the winner, is 105, and the vote for the second one was 77. So appreciate everybody that voted. We got actually 69 people from the QR codes from the community focus actually, so that was pretty cool, so yeah. And then obviously we had a lot of people that voted in the office, we had the ballot box, and then a lot of people just called in and voted, so very much appreciated.
so what you see is what we're gonna adopt. And maybe as, time unfolds, you'll see that on signage or the letterhead, and
Neat
website.
t-shirts.
envelopes, or things like that.
Tattoos.
Tattoos. How about that?
January's meeting.
Raising the artist.
That'll tell people where you're from. All right, so, any more advice, information? We did get a letter of interest from Brad Linz, who would like to be considered as, a member of the planning board. Many of us know Brad, he served us well in the past. So as we continue to move forward and we have some wiggle room and some openings, it'd be nice to consider Brad again, so that's in your packet as well. I think I've covered everything I had. If there's anything from anyone else? No? Okay. All right, so that ends our town board topics. We are going to, go into an executive session under, 105F, and a heads up to the community. If you wonder what that 105F is, you can Google it, and it gives you an understanding of what we're gonna talk about. And I think I can at least say, we've got to talk about some of these costs you mentioned that are exorbitant. And, as we're entering this budget season, we really are trying to find a way to save the town some money and get better quality services. And health insurance is the biggest problem we have right now. The costs are exorbitant, and we don't wanna change anything, that's gonna affect those that we provide health insurance to, because commitments have been made to our employees for coverage. So, without alluding to details, that's kind of what we've gotta wrestle with here. So that's why we're gonna make a motion to go into executive session. When we're done with the executive session, we will return to the boardroom, and at that point, we're gonna call the meeting adjourned. But we don't call the meeting adjourned until we finish executive session. So you're welcome to stay here until we return. We don't anticipate to talk about any further business after our executive session. So the choice is up to the community if they wanna hang out here while we talk about these items. So I would like a motion to enter executive session in a second, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so with that, we're gonna go to the back room and hammer out some thoughts.
Hello. Hey, I wanted to ask you if you're gonna be mowing the field.